Father Pilarz, you have been elected by the University of Scranton's Board of Trustees and missioned by the Very Reverend Robert Vaszily, Provincial of the Maryland Province of the Society of Jesus, to serve as the president of this university. The mission of the University of Scranton as a Catholic and Jesuit institution is to provide a superior, transformational learning experience, preparing students who, in the words of Jesuit founder St. Ignatius of Loyola, will set the world on fire. Father Pilarz, this is a day of great promise for the University of Scranton. We have chosen you to lead this university community and to embrace, strengthen, and further our mission. As you undertake the presidency, the Board of Trustees and the entire university community pledge our support and collaboration to work with you to enlighten the minds and lift the hearts of our campus, our community, and our world. On this 21st day of September, in the year of our Lord, 2018, it is my privilege as chair of the Board of Trustees to confer upon you, the Reverend Scott R. Pilarz of the Society of Jesus, all of the powers and responsibilities of the presidency of this great and Catholic Jesuit university. And so on behalf of my fellow trustees, I present to you the 27th president of the University of Scranton.
Fellow trustees, Bishop Bambera, Father Vaszily, honored guests, my brother Jesuits, members of the faculty, staff, and administration, and most importantly, students of the University of Scranton. First and foremost, thanks to all those who made possible this great day in the life of the university. In all honesty, there is only one thing I want to say today. I love this place, and I am blessed to be back here with you. However, my bosses, the trustees, are sitting behind me, and I don't think I can get away with just a single sentence. They hired me, and I think they want to hear a little more. There are actually three aspects of our university that I wish to address today: our community, our core, and our shared commitments. Speaking to community, let me start by thanking Father Herb Keller for the groundwork he set last year as interim president. I am delighted that he is the rector of the Scranton Jesuit community and also special assistant to the president. This is one of those rare instances where my boss is also my assistant. Herb's good work built upon the legacy of community. The generations of women and men serving the university have made our hallmark, including our former president, Father Joe McShane, who we're happy to welcome back here today. One of the primary reasons I am so happy to be back is because of the special, unique nature of this community, a community that has once again so warmly welcomed me and my family. 2 years ago, I was happily serving as the president of Georgetown Prep, the oldest Jesuit high school in the United States, complete with my own golf course, if I only played golf. I was blessed with remarkable comrades and collaborators, some of whom have joined us here today, people who are devoted to serving Prep's exceptional students. I can assure you that there was no other place on the planet that I would consider leaving Prep except for the University of Scranton. When Scranton friends first suggested that I consider coming back, my respect for and devotion to this place led me to discern the pursuit of this opportunity. And throughout that discernment, I was haunted by some words that somebody had etched on the front of the DeNaples Center. Not where I breathe, but where I love, I live. While community is a key strength, we can never be complacent here at Scranton. As you know, community both here and everywhere is under stress. Some of these stresses are not new. In 2011, Father General Nicholas said, "When one is overwhelmed with such a dizzying pluralism of choices and values and beliefs and visions of life, then one can so easily slip into the lazy superficiality of relativism or mere tolerance of others and their views, rather than engaging in the hard work of forming communities of dialogue in search of truth and understanding." We have never been afraid of this kind of hard work at the University of Scranton. In our current context, this work requires a focus on reconciliation. As our current Father General recently wrote, the university is a privileged space, a space for exercising human freedom, freedom to search and find the paths of social transformation through research and teaching. It is a space in which the message of liberation, of the good news of the gospel, can contribute to finding better ways to generate life. In the midst of difficulty and uncertainty, which seem to overwhelm the lives of most women and men, universities can open a space for hope to enter. What better space for hope to enter than here at the University of Scranton? We must ensure that hope always abides here, and even more, that we are the source of hope in our local community, the communities in which our graduates live and work, in the church and in the world. So how do we go about equipping our students to live lives that are sources for hope? For me, the answer is clear and central to my own education and life's work. At Scranton and at all Jesuit universities, we have always given pride of place to the liberal arts and the humanities. And our commitment to these academic disciplines is rooted and grounded in our very mission and identity. The earliest Jesuit educators believed and developed a curriculum out of the conviction that the study of literature, history, language, theology, and philosophy, those disciplines transform students to be agents for positive change in a world always waiting to be more gentle and more just. At Scranton, the humanities and liberal arts are the heart of the matter and must always remain so. This is not to say that as a comprehensive university, we are not committed to an array of outstanding undergraduate and graduate programs. But what sets apart a Scranton doctor, a Scranton nurse, a Scranton accountant, teacher, scientist, or executive, is a deep appreciation for and understanding of the human condition. Humanities and liberal arts offer unique opportunities to gain wisdom by engaging and embracing life's greatest mysteries. Those of you who know me well know that at heart, I'm an English teacher. At the conclusion of every English class I've ever taught, I share with my students these words from the New Jersey novelist Philip Roth. I love teaching literature. I am rarely ever so contented as when I am up here with my pages of notes and my marked up texts and people like yourselves. To my mind, there is nothing quite like the classroom in all of life. Sometimes, when we are in the midst of talking, when one of you has pierced with a single phrase right to the heart of the book at hand, I want to cry out, "Dear friends, cherish this." Why? Because once you have left here, people are rarely, if ever, going to talk to you or listen to you the way you talk and listen to one another and to me in this bright, barren little room. I doubt that you know how very affecting it is to hear you speak thoughtfully and with all earnestness about solitude, illness, longing, loss, suffering, hope, passion, and love. To put it as straight as I can, what the church is to a true believer, the classroom is to me. Some kneel at Sunday prayer, and I appear 3 times each week to teach the great stories to you. The humanities and liberal arts are home to the great stories. And Jesuit educators have always believed that reading the great stories is the best preparation for a life lived generously in service of others and God. In addition, they knew that the great stories teach you the time is a finger snap and a blink of an eye, and that you should not allow a moment to pass you by without taking joyous, ecstatic note of it. In other words, the humanities teach us, don't waste love. Even before I arrived here, faculty and administrators were talking about how Scranton can best be positioned as a leader in humanities education. Inspired by their good work and by my own deep convictions, I have already made finding resources to support this dream a priority. We must explicitly rededicate our community to Ignatian intellectual rigor, curiosity, and personal growth. As a start to accomplishing this, we are creating a Center for the Humanities that will provide every part of our academic community, business and nursing, arts, political science, communications, chemistry, with an empowering and coherent basis for these Ignatian ideals. While you'll hear much more about our plans in coming weeks, I want today to very happily announce that we've already received the first of what I hope will be many leadership gifts in support of the Humanities Center. I know I'm going to put them on the spot here, but I want to acknowledge the generous commitment of $1 million from Mr. James Slattery and his wife, Betsy. While the liberal arts are central to our mission, we have over the decades defined a Scranton education in much more comprehensive ways. We are proud of all of our academic programs and the ways in which they, too, transform the lives of our students. As we look to the future, we are committed to strengthening strategically our existing programs and to add appropriate new programs. While our past provides a compass, we always need to be aware of new possibilities and new directions. I encourage all of us, especially our new provost, the deans, and the faculty, to be innovative, entrepreneurial, and collaborative. Ultimately, all of the programs that we offer now and will offer in the future must develop organically and authentically in accordance with our mission and identity. In addition to finding financial support for the liberal arts and humanities, I am committed to doing the same for student-faculty research and faculty development. Our students tell us again and again how such research helps them discern their passion. These opportunities obviously require a level of generosity from our faculty, who give so freely of their time and who remain excited to create knowledge. We can all be grateful, and I certainly am, for the Scranton faculty who are selflessly committed to student success. In order that future generations may have access to Scranton experience, we are committed to redoubling our efforts to support endowment for the sake of scholarship and financial aid. Scholarship and financial aid are, as you know, the difference makers for our students and their families. To this end, we must invite our alumni, parents, and friends to help our students realize their dreams here. We have a strong tradition here in Scranton of service and service programs, both international and domestic. I have to admit, during my first tenure, I had to be strong-armed into accompanying a group of students to El Salvador. They had earlier in the semester talked me into offering an individual course, a reader course, on liberation theology. At the end of the semester, they asked a question. So what are we going to do with what we've learned? Father, let's go to Central America and put theory into practice. Their example was an inspiration for me, and my shared experience with them convinced me more than ever of the importance of exposing our students to the gritty reality of the world. While we certainly didn't change El Salvador in 10 days, that experience of service forever changed all of us. We must be committed to seeing such programs flourish, and a dream of mine is to see them fully endowed. While our current strategic plan rightly encourages us to embrace the world, we just as enthusiastically embrace our city and the region of northeastern Pennsylvania. We are committed to the university remaining an engine of opportunity, a voice for social justice, and a hub of cultural, intellectual, and spiritual life. As a university founded by the first Bishop of Scranton and sustained by the Society of Jesus since 1942, we uniquely manifest our Catholic and Jesuit identity. For example, and with all due deference to my fellow Jesuit presidents here today, Scranton stands out among our sister Jesuit institutions in our practice of cura personalis. Based on St. Ignatius' experience during his conversion, of God drawing up close to him as a unique individual with his own hopes and dreams and aspirations. Our paradigm for relating to Scranton students embodies the reverent familiarity practiced by the earliest Jesuit educators. We have learned that caring for students in this way is the very heart of our transformational education. This qualifies our university community to address with care and sensitivity issues facing the church, both local and universal. Recently, our Board of Trustees dedicated endowed funds to launch an effort, both scholarly and pastorally, to harness our gifts at a time when the need for transformation is so apparent. So we commit ourselves to this effort with a sense of humility, but also a sense of urgency. As I conclude, let me draw on the words of Father Timothy Healy, a mentor, a friend, and a late president of Georgetown. Father Healy once spoke of a university, the work of a university, as an act of love. The work of a university as an act of love. And as St. Ignatius reminds us, love is shown in deeds, not in words. Our devotion to community, our passion for the liberal arts, and all of our shared commitments constitute a call to action, a call to think beyond ourselves in service of our mission for the greater glory of God and the world's well-being. Ultimately, they are a call to love. While universities are great at assessment, planning, and accreditation, in our heart of hearts, they don't really matter to us. What does matter is the individual contact, the teacher in the classroom, the arc across which our learning bangs into the energy of the young. That interchange is far more important to us than all the rules or regulations issued by the office of the dean or the provost, all the fulminations of the president and the board of trustees, or anyone else on the good ground on which we serve. Only individuals grow, and that growth in mind and heart is the university's preoccupation. I pray today and every day that all of us at Scranton will be preoccupied with love for our students and for one another. I love this place, and I am so blessed to be back here with all of you. God bless you. God bless Catholic and Jesuit education, and God bless the University of Scranton. Thank you.